it's your boy J. Lou, and you guys are just in time for something new. Alright, now in this video today, what I'm going to be talking about is how to grow your hair thicker, but naturally, you know what I'm saying? Now, I appreciate the weight based off of my last video and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? I try to stray away from controversial topics because I already know how people gonna label me, no matter if I present facts or not, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, based off of the overwhelming majority response, a lot of people was looking for the information, and for the ones that wasn't, they appreciated the facts, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to this video, y'all already know I'm gonna continue doing what I've always been doing, and that's going into the history as well as providing you guys some facts and some details in regards to what I do and what I recommend when it comes to growing your hair thicker. Now, one thing I want to say is it is definitely getting cold outside, and people been trying to stunt on me talking about
J. Lou, man, you ain't got your own brush, you ain't got this, you ain't got that, bro, blah blah blah, you ain't got your own products.
I've had plenty of opportunities to be able to offer that stuff, but for me, I just keep it simple. But enough of that. Now, the first thing I want to say is something that most of y'all probably already know, but when it comes to losing your hair, the number one reason is due to genetics. Now, with that being said, after we get that out the way, a lot of people tend to say,
oh man, it's all due to genetics, don't worry about blah blah blah,
and then they just throw everything out the door, and they don't even focus on any of the other solutions or things that can help them grow their hair naturally or thicker, or they refer to somebody that only pushes products. The one thing I want to focus on is most people don't understand the human body. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to my videos, I'm not a doctor, I'm not registered, I'm not licensed, anything like that. But one thing I never told you guys is I was studying to get my personal trainer certification. So when it comes to my videos, I take that collective knowledge of things that I've learned over the years and I apply it into the wave game. When it comes to just humans in general, especially men, when you look at men, most of the time they start losing hair in the middle of their head right here, right? Now, a lot of people probably don't know the reason why. They probably didn't put two and two together. The main reason why people start going bald in the middle of their head, especially men, is because the human body, when you look at the arteries and the capillaries, basically the veins that distribute blood flow throughout your whole entire body, most of your veins are all in the center core of your body, but the closer they get to your crown, the top of your head, then they thin out and they get smaller. Now, when it comes to being healthy, one thing that you guys need to understand is blood is very vital in regards to being healthy. Blood is something that actually carries the nutrients from different parts of the body to help give your body what it needs. And when it comes to your head, if most of your capillaries and arteries are not going all the way to the top of your head, they're not getting the nutrients that they need. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in your early stages of your life, of course you're gonna have a full head of hair because you're healthy, your veins are pumping out blood and everything like that. But as you get older, one thing that's gonna happen is the fact that all that stuff is gonna slow down. It's not gonna work as good as it was, you know what I'm saying? And after the brief years that I've lived on this earth, one thing that I observed is the simple fact that most men typically don't take care of their hair. They'll typically say,
oh man, you're gonna go bald because of genetics, blah 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 blah,
without understanding that not only do your arteries and your capillaries don't go all the way to the top of your head, but at the same time, they may never wake up and take care of their hair every single day. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to keep in mind, because one thing that I noticed in the wave game is I've been able to see people who had thinning hair, and based off of the tips that I'm gonna give you guys, they were able to restore some parts of the hair. Now, with that being said, I don't want to mislead you. If your hair follicles and the cells that your hair grows out of, if they are dead, man, it's game over. You know what I'm saying? This video is more so for people that have those hair follicles and cells that are in remission, which basically means they're still alive, but they're dormant because you haven't done anything to keep them active and healthy. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let me go ahead and take my do-rag off and show y'all what the waves are looking like. And I'm gonna get into the tips in regards to how to help grow your hair thicker as well as naturally. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. All right, now before I take my do-rag off, one thing I want to say is, peep game, I'm gonna have a video coming in regards to do-rags, but notice how I'm rocking this pink do-rag. The main reason why I wanted to wear this do-rag today, this is a So Many Waves do-rag. I get them from brushking.org, and what he'll normally do is offer 5 SMWs, random different colors, for only $20. You know, so make sure you go to his website and click on notify me so you can get a notification if you want to cop those kind of do-rags. But I wore this do-rag today simply to remind you guys that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And if you have a woman in your life that you love, make sure you tell them,
hey, make sure you get checked out because I love you, you know.
Because breast cancer and cancer just in general is something that affects a lot of people. It causes a lot of harm. And a lot of times what we fail to realize is if we catch it in the earlier stages, we can prevent it. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, let me show y'all what the waves look like and give y'all the tips in regards to how to grow your hair. So when it comes to my left side, as you guys can see, the left side looks like 360s. I've been working on that, you know. basically getting it where it needs to be, just to make sure that I can maintain those angles. And then as you can see, the top is my weak side, but I finally figured that angle out, and I'm getting to the point to where my top is lining up. The flow is coming in extra crazy. And whenever it goes to the right side, like I told you guys, it goes into the 720 angle and everything like that, you know, and then it goes into the back and just basically follows this same flow, you know. So, all right, now based off of my last video, one thing I told you guys is whenever it comes to growing your hair, the best product that I recommend is simply using an oil, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want a lot of people down in my comment section be like,
oh man, what's the best oil to use?
You have to figure out what's the best oil for yourself. But whenever it comes to me, the products I always recommend is the Wild Growth Hair Oil. This product right here, you can find this in Sally's or Amazon. I'll make sure I leave the link down in the description below. Another oil that I highly recommend is the castor oil. Now, there's two different types of castor oil. There's the regular one like this, and then there's the Jamaican black castor oil. Whenever it comes to castor oil, you can use any of those brands. Typically, if you look on the label, it should tell you something about it'll help thicken your hair or whatever the case is. But castor oil is known for that. One of my favorite products is the Legion sauce. Now you can clearly see that I'm down to the bottom of the barrel of this bad boy, but this one is actually the summer sauce, you know, so I highly recommend the Legion sauce. I'll make sure I have all the links to where you can find these oils and everything. And then the last oil, which is like a personal oil, is this. Basically it's an essential oil. This is a peppermint oil, you know what I'm saying? So now typically with this oil, you don't want to use it by yourself. You want to mix this in with a carrier oil. Sometimes what I do is I'll take the Legion sauce, apply as many drops as I want for the Legion sauce, and then add 2 or 3 drops of the peppermint essential oil, you know what I'm saying? Now that's what you need to know in regards to the products. The reason why I'm mentioning oils is simply because when it comes to growing your hair back, if you remember what I said, after you get past genetics, because your capillaries as well as your arteries don't go all the way to the top of your crown, you need to do something that will help stimulate and promote blood flow into your scalp, you know what I'm saying? The ways you can do that is simply by doing a scalp massage. At the same time, as waivers, people typically say,
oh man, if you brush your hair every single day, you're gonna lose your hair, blah 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 blah.
But that information right there is bogus, because at the end of the day, if you are using the right brushes, typically a medium brush all the way down to a soft, anywhere between that spectrum, what you will be able to do is stimulate your scalp, and what that does is it helps create blood flow. Now I have another video that I'll link right above here about how to properly use a hard brush. Whenever it comes to hard brushes are amazing for releasing the sebum, which is the natural oil that is trapped into your scalp, and it'll basically help distribute all over your scalp and everything like that. But at the same time, because a hard brush is so hard, what it'll also do is it'll help create blood flow. You can even also use a comb. Now when it comes to combs, I recommend using a wide tooth comb. You can find combs on Amazon. I know Brush King supplies combs and everything like that, but the comb I typically recommend is called a Crest 3000 comb. I think you can find them in Sally's, but if you can't, I'll make sure I leave a link down in my description about where you can find that comb on Amazon as well, you know. So now with that being said, those are the products and the tools that you will need to be able to do a scalp massage. But the biggest thing that you guys need to understand is, what do you have to do in order to grow your hair thicker and natural? Now, the first person on YouTube that ever made a video about this that I know of personally is a guy. His name is Joseph Celestine. I believe that's how you say his last name, but I typically just refer to him as King Joe. King Joe actually had a YouTube back in the day, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people wanted him to bring his YouTube back because back in the day, along with Country Kang as well as Young Wavy, he was seen as one of the most informative waivers on YouTube. But because of my background and how I was raised, I already knew about how to grow your hair because I used to have a fro back in the day. I'm talking about I had a huge fro, you know what I'm saying? And I actually learned from licensed cosmetologists about how to thicken my hair. And when it came to the wave game, Elise Spins was the first people to actually put people onto this information. So that's the reason why it became known as the Elise Spins Growth Challenge. Now what this simply boils down to is you use an oil that helps promote hair growth or thicker hair, and you basically do a scalp massage. Now when you do your scalp massage, it can take anywhere between 5 to 20 minutes, but at the same time, as waivers, a lot of people typically say,
oh man, I'm not about to do no scalp massage because if I do that, it's gonna mess my waves up, I'm gonna lose my progress.
But one thing I want to say, man, is if you scramble your hair, if you do a scramble wash or a scalp massage and you lose your waves, that simply means you didn't even have waves to begin with in the first place, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't lose what you never had, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and do a scalp massage to show you guys. Let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into it. All right, now the comb that I was referring to earlier was basically this crest comb right here, you know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do is start off by applying the oil into my head, and then at the same time what I'm gonna do is distribute it through with the comb, and then I'm gonna get into doing a scalp massage. So I'm gonna take my Legion sauce. As you can see, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm gonna take my essential oil like I told you guys earlier. And take the peppermint oil. 1, 2, 3. Now you don't have to mix these oils. You can just simply use the Legion sauce. You can simply just use the castor oil. You can simply just use the wild growth hair oil, whatever you want to use. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going on a video to show you guys a little bit about what I do when I mix it up and everything. So you just mix that into your hands just like that. Now what I try to do is do the Mr. Miyagi, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, I don't know if y'all remember watching the Karate Kid, but basically the Karate Kid got hurt, and what he did was he slapped his hands together and then he rubbed them real fast like that. And then you just apply it into your scalp like this. Just tap it. Now after you're done with that, just simply wash your hands. Now either you can use the comb or you can go straight into the scalp massage, but what I try to do is just comb it through my scalp just to be able to help it distribute all the way around, and then I'll follow it up with a scalp massage. Alright, now once you're done with that, all you're simply gonna do is massage your scalp for 5 to 20 minutes. Now in video, what I may do is just speed it up, but that's basically what I'm gonna do for the next 5 to 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, get a timer, or you can play your favorite song and just get straight to work. So let's get into it. Alright, now after you are done massaging your scalp, like what I always recommend for beginners is just simply start off from 3 to 5 minutes, work yourself up to 5. If you really want to, if you are pressed for time, you can just stick to 5 minutes. That's one reason why I said whenever you use a hard brush, you only want to use a hard brush for about 5 minutes or something like that, especially as a beginner, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that you would notice is while you are giving yourself a scalp massage, your head will start to heat up, and at the same time, it may feel tight in certain areas. And I don't know how true this is, but to me, that just simply, it feels like when the blood is trying to rush to my head and everything like that, kind of like whenever if you hang upside down, that feeling that you get of the blood rushing to your head, it kind of feels like that just towards me. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen exactly to you, but ultimately, when it comes to growing your hair thicker, that's what you have to do. You have to do this at least twice a day, you know what I'm saying, for at least 5 minutes. And the reason why this became famous and known in Elite Spins as known as the Growth Challenge is basically because they would do a 30-day growth challenge, you know what I'm saying? So you would start at the first day of the month, and every single day, you would do this twice a day. Some people are going to be concerned about losing their progress, but let me go ahead and brush my hair back down to show you guys what should happen if you already have waves. Now, if your waves don't bounce back, that simply means that you don't have waves. But another reason why I like doing this is because it helps keep my pattern loose, you know what I'm saying? For myself, I have a looser curl type, so a lot of people will say,
oh, if I do that, I'm gonna lose my waves.
But those people typically have kinkier or curlier curls, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, my curls are a lot looser than yours, so if I can get my waves back, you should be able to do the same thing. But whenever I do a scalp massage, like I said, it keeps my pattern loose, and it actually allows me to make way faster progress, because whenever you're wearing a do-rag every single time, what you're doing is you're locking your hair into place, and it makes it harder for those curls to be able to line up when you go into your brush session. But by doing scalp massages, that's one way I've been able to make the progress that I've been able to make, is simply because it keeps my pattern loose, you know? So you gotta make sure your brush angles are precise. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is before I do that, you wanna take a comb and is to simply detangle your hair. Basically comb your hair in the desired flow that you want your waves to go in. Now you don't have to comb your hair very long, and you also don't have to comb your hair very hard. What you want to do is basically just get all of those curls that may get knotted up while you're doing a scalp massage. So when you go back into your brush session, it's easier for your curls to just go right back into place. Now at this point, you can use a hard brush to basically brush your pattern back into place. But when it comes to using a hard brush, like I say, only use it for 5 minutes and then go into your medium brush session, finish off with a soft brush or whatever the case is. You can either use a plastic bag or your hands, lay your waves down and then rag up. Alright, now after you are done with your brush session, you can just simply either use your hands or a plastic bag just to help smoothen your waves out and everything like that. Now after you put your do-rag on and you wear it for at least 30 minutes and you unrag, you will be able to see that your waves have came back. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make this video to be able to give you guys some understanding in regards to how to grow your hair naturally. I know a lot of people typically hit me up and ask me my thoughts about biotin. I don't recommend using biotin to grow your hair thicker unless it's prescribed by a doctor or recommended by a doctor, because at the end of the day, as a normal healthy person, your body produces enough biotin based off of what your diet is and everything like that. But like I said, I'm gonna save those details for another video, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, what I'm about to do is lay my hair down, rag up, and then show you guys how my hair looks after I did everything, to show you that you can actually have your waves bounce back, you know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. Now after ragging up, one tip I have to give you guys is I'm gonna make a video about the reason why I wear my do-rags like this. But in regards to this video, the main reason why I don't recommend tying your do-rags up and all of that stuff like that and wearing very tight stocking caps and all that is because if you do something like that, like I told you guys already, you don't have that many arteries and capillaries that basically bring blood to the top of your head. So if you wear something very tight, what it's gonna do is cut off their blood flow. And if you start losing blood flow to go towards your area, your temples will come out very affected by that. Personally, that's one reason why your temple areas will become out very thin, because you're wearing something very tight right there. You know, you may not see it in the beginning stages, but the more and more you tie your do-rags too tight, it'll definitely cut off the blood flow circulation, and that's not something you want to do, you know. But like I told you guys, I'm gonna have that video coming more in the future. But with that being said, I'm gonna go chill for a little bit, come back and show you how my waves look after I've compressed my hair, you know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned. Alright, so as you can clearly see on my left side, I think I got like just that one fork that I've been pushing out of my pattern, you know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely close to just finishing this side up. It may take me a while if I gotta push it all the way out, but that's the left side. When it comes to the top, as you can see, the top is definitely coming along. And then on the right side, the biggest thing that I'm focusing on this side is basically getting this flow to line back up. I used to have this whole entire side flawless, but as you can see, my waves definitely came back. So if you think there's something I missed out, make sure you leave it down in the comment section below. With that being said, it's your boy J. Lou. I appreciate everybody that took the time out their day to watch this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Salute!
Come brush with me, ayy, do what I do. Lou is the name, I'm so off the chain. Torino is the brush, do wet wood grain. Brush a wave and have something. Brush a wave and have something. Brush a wave and have something. Brush a wave and have something.